On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Astonished.
Extremely surprised and upset.
Examples:
Astonished at the success. Cast astonished eyes. She was astonished by the news and could hardly believe it.
Dedicate.
To give all of your energy, time, etc., entirely to a specific person, activity, or cause, to set apart for a particular purpose or use.
Examples:
Dedicate a few hours. Dedicate a chapter to the subject. He dedicated his life to helping others.
Claw.
A curved, pointed appendage found on the foot or leg of an animal, used for gripping or grasping. A human hand with long, narrow fingers that are curved like a claw. A machine or tool with a claw-like opening used for gripping or lifting objects.
Examples:
Claw marks. Claw hammer. The bear used its claw to catch a fish in the river.
Unpaved.
Describing a surface or road that is not covered in the pavement or made of a hard, smooth surface.
Examples:
Unpaved parking lot. Unpaved driveway. The unpaved road was bumpy and difficult to drive on.
Cramped.
Not having enough space for the people in it, uncomfortably small or restricted.
Examples:
Feel cramped. A cramped house. She writes a cramped hand.
Fetid.
Having a strong and unpleasant smell, foul-smelling or malodorous.
Examples:
Fetid swamp. Fetid garbage. The room was filled with a fetid odor, making it difficult to stay inside.
Stalk.
To follow or track someone or something closely and quietly, usually to cause harm or surveillance. To move slowly and quietly to avoid detection. Noun, the main stem of a plant that supports leaves, flowers, and fruit, the stem or main axis of a support structure or framework.
Examples:
Stalk of celery. Stalk from the room. The hunter quietly stalked the deer for hours before taking the shot.
Squalor.
A state of extreme dirtiness, poverty, and overall unclean living conditions. A condition of squalid or miserable living.
Examples:
Living in squalor. Squalor conditions. The homeless encampment was known for its terrible squalor, with garbage and filth littering the entire area.
Irate.
Feeling or showing strong anger or annoyance.
Examples:
Irate protesters. Irate tone. The irate customer demanded a refund for the faulty product.
Malign.
To speak or write about someone or something in a harmful or critical way. Adjective, evil or harmful in nature or influence.
Examples:
Malign influence. Malign the politician in the media. The article maligned the company's reputation with false accusations.
Diplomacy.
The art and practice of conducting negotiations between nations, organizations, or people. The fine art of dealing with people in a sensitive and effective way.
Examples:
The language of diplomacy. The art of diplomacy. Effective diplomacy is necessary to resolve conflicts and maintain relationships between countries.
Elusive.
Difficult to find, define, achieve, or remember.
Examples:
An elusive criminal. Track down an elusive fact. The physicist who found the elusive particle won the Nobel Prize.
Hoof.
The horny part of the foot of some mammals, such as horses, deer, and cattle.
Examples:
Hoof mark. Clean hoof. The horse's hoof was injured and needed to be treated by a veterinarian.
Cellar.
A room or space below ground level in a building, typically used for storage of goods, food, or wine, a basement.
Examples:
Cellar storage. Wine cellar. Every year, they would store homemade jams and preserves in the cellar's cool environment to make them last longer.
Moth.
An insect with wings similar to a butterfly that travels at night and is attracted to light.
Examples:
Moth larva. Moth attracted to the light. The moth is a serious threat to the farm's output.
Purposeful.
Having a specific aim or purpose, determined.
Examples:
Purposeful series of actions. At a purposeful pace. She had a purposeful look and was determined to complete the task.
Hem.
The edge or border of a piece of cloth, typically sewn to prevent fraying or unraveling, a small margin or border around something. Verb, to fold the edge of a piece of fabric and sew it down to create a neat and secure finish.
Examples:
The hem of a dress. Hem the skirt. The hem length of her dress was perfect for the evening event.
Lank.
Thin, straight, and limp in appearance, usually describing hair or a person's build.
Examples:
Lank hair. Lank figure. His lank posture made him appear unconfident.
Dangle.
To hang or swing loosely, especially in a way that suggests instability or lack of support. To tempt or tantalize by holding out the prospect of something desirable but uncertain.
Examples:
Dangle a carrot. dangle a pendant. The earring on her earlobe would dangle as she moved her head.
Scrape.
To draw something along a rough or hard surface, typically to remove dirt or other matter.
Examples:
Scrape meat off a bone. Scrape a hole in the ground. He scraped the mud off his boots before entering the house.
Bleach.
To remove color or stains, whiten, or sterilize using a solution of chemicals or other substances, such as bleach.
Examples:
Bleach stains. Bleach hair. I need to bleach this shirt to remove the stains.
Pluck.
To pull or draw something, especially with sudden force or effort, to strip of feathers.
Examples:
Pluck a gray hair. Pluck out weeds. She plucked the flowers off the bush.
Eyebrow.
The hair arc over each eye in humans.
Examples:
Raise her eyebrows. Eyebrow cosmetics. She raised an inquiring eyebrow towards me.
Unknowable.
Impossible to know or comprehend, beyond the limits of human understanding.
Examples:
Unknowable complexity. Unknowable future. The mysteries of the universe are often considered unknowable.
Forbidding.
Giving the impression that something is difficult or unpleasant, intimidating or uninviting.
Examples:
Forbidding atmosphere. Forbidding mountain. The teacher's stern expression and strict rules made her classroom feel forbidding to the students.
Adept.
Having or showing knowledge and skill and aptitude to do something quite difficult.
Examples:
Adept at fishing. Adept in handicrafts. She is highly adept with medical equipment.
Enigma.
A puzzling or mysterious person, place, or thing, something that is difficult or impossible to understand or explain, a riddle or mysterious puzzle that requires a solution.
Examples:
Mysterious enigma. Artistic enigma. The ancient text remains an enigma, challenging scholars to unravel its meaning.
Proclamation.
An official announcement or statement.
Examples:
Proclamation of innocence. Nullify a proclamation. The king made a proclamation declaring war on the neighboring country.
Bleak.
Unlikely to be favorable, unpleasantly cold and damp, offering little or no hope.
Examples:
Prospects were bleak. Bleak future. The political landscape looks bleak without a change of administration.
Sensual.
Relating to or consisting in the gratification of the senses or the indulgence of physical pleasure.
Examples:
sensual appeal. Speak in a sensual tone. The room was filled with the sensual aroma of incense and flowers.
Veil.
A piece of fine cloth worn by women to cover or conceal the face. Verb, to cover, conceal, or obscure.
Examples:
veil of mystery. Veil her face. He lifted her veil with both hands.
Sexless.
Lacking or having little sexual activity or expression, not displaying or emphasizing sexuality.
Examples:
sexless insect. A sexless relationship. The asexual plant was sexless and did not require pollination to reproduce.
Vestment.
A garment worn by a member of the clergy during a religious service.
Examples:
vestment worn by a priest. Burial vestments. The priest donned his vestment before the service.
Thump.
To strike or hit heavily or repeatedly, often with a dull, resonating sound, to pound or beat forcefully.
Examples:
thump on the back. Thump a blistering shot. I heard someone thump on the door, and when I opened it, no one was there.
Whisker.
Any of the long, stiff hairs that grow near the face of certain animals, such as cats or rats, a long, thin, projecting piece or part, such as an antenna or a protruding edge.
Examples:
whisker trimming. Box whisker chart. The cat's whiskers twitched as it watched the birds outside the window.
Mores.
The essential or characteristic customs and conventions of a particular society or group, often reflecting moral, social, or ethical values.
Examples:
social mores. Traditional mores. The cultural mores of this foreign country may differ from what we are accustomed to.
Bristle.
A stiff, short hair on a mammal's skin or a natural or artificial brush. A stiff, sharp point on a plant such as a thorn or a prickle. Verb, to react defensively to something, to stand up stiffly and be rigid.
Examples:
bristle brush. Bristle with anger. The dog's bristle on its back stood up as it growled at the mailman.
Wary.
Cautious or distrustful, especially because of a previous bad experience.
Examples:
a wary statesman. Wary of marriage. She was wary of meeting new people because of past experiences.
Audacious.
Showing a willingness to take bold risks or to do something that is considered unconventional or daring, marked by originality, creativity, or boldness.
Examples:
audacious stunt, audacious decision. The young entrepreneur had an audacious plan to start his own company.
Affirmation:
a statement declaring something to be true strongly.
Examples:
self-affirmation, statement of affirmation. The affirmation from her boss gave her the confidence she needed to move forward with her project.
Communion:
the act or condition of exchanging or sharing thoughts and feelings. Christianity, the act of participating in the celebration of the Eucharist.
Examples:
communion with God, spiritual communion with nature. We use this tableware in a communion service.
Misunderstand:
to interpret or understand something in the wrong way.
Examples:
misunderstand each other, misunderstand entirely about her. You should not misunderstand the meaning of freedom.
Pass:
no longer fashionable or current, outdated, considered to be old-fashioned or out of date.
Examples:
passé entertainment, passé trend. Bell-bottom jeans, once considered passé fashion, have made a surprising comeback in recent years.
Sequin:
a decorative item consisting of a small, shiny disc or bead typically sewn onto clothing for added embellishment.
Examples:
sequin dress, gold sequin. Her dress was covered in shimmering sequins that caught the light.
Sew:
to join, fasten, or repair two pieces of something by putting the thread through them with a needle.
Examples:
sew with thread, sew a button. My mother taught me how to sew.
Mascara:
a cosmetic product used to darken, thicken, and define eyelashes.
Examples:
waterproof mascara, mascara smudge. She applied the mascara to her lashes for a dramatic look.
Ring:
to twist, squeeze, or compress something, especially to extract liquid or force out excess, to cause emotional or mental distress, to extract information by force or pressure.
Examples:
wring out a towel, wring a secret. I had to wring out my wet clothes before putting them in the dryer.
Thug:
a violent or criminal individual, especially one who is part of a group or gang.
Examples:
local thug, notorious thug. The police arrested the thug who robbed the convenience store.
Simmer:
to cook food over low heat in a liquid, maintaining a temperature just below boiling point, to be filled with a low level of intense emotion, to be on the verge of expressing strong feelings.
Examples:
simmer until water evaporates. Simmer in her mind for years. The soup must simmer for at least an hour for all the flavors to blend.
Hiss.
To make a sound similar to a sharp exhalation or steam escaping under pressure, often expressing disapproval, anger, or fear. To produce a sound that is shrill and prolonged, often resembling the hissing of a snake. Noun, a sound or noise made by a person or animal, characterized by a sharp, prolonged S sound.
Examples:
hiss warningly at the intruder. The hiss of a snake. The cat arched its back and hissed at the approaching dog.
Inflict.
To cause harm, injury, or suffering to someone or something.
Examples:
inflict a heavier tax. Inflict a hard blow. The storm inflicted significant damage on the town.
Blur.
A faint or indistinct image or sound, something that is not clear or distinct. Verb, to become unclear, to lose clear vision.
Examples:
blur image. Motion blur. The camera's focus was off, and the image was a blur of colors and shapes.
Shadowy.
Dark, dim, or vague, as if obscured by shadows, mysterious or uncertain.
Examples:
shadowy doorway. Shadowy past. The shadowy figure in the corner of the room made me uneasy.
Hallway.
An interior passage or corridor onto which rooms open.
Examples:
the head of a hallway. Wax a hallway floor. He dashed down a hallway to a bathroom.
Pretension.
The act of claiming or asserting something, especially without good reason or without evidence, an unfounded or excessive claim or ambition.
Examples:
pretension to authority. Baseless pretension. His pretensions of being a gourmet were quickly exposed when he could not identify basic herbs and spices.
Lurk.
To wait somewhere secretly, especially because you are about to attack someone or do something bad or illegal.
Examples:
lurked behind the words. Lurk in the darkness. In the city, the risk of traffic accidents lurks at every corner.
Crouch.
To put your body close to the ground, especially as a way of avoiding being seen.
Examples:
crouch into a ball. Crouch around a fire. He crouched down behind the bushes to avoid being seen.
Savage.
Extremely wild, ferocious, or uncivilized.
Examples:
reply in a savage voice. Savage attack. The animal was injured and became savage, attacking anyone who approached.
Deformity.
A physical abnormality or distortion.
Examples:
Deformity of character. Physical deformity. The deformity in the steel beam caused the bridge to collapse.
Incessant.
Continuing without interruption, constant, unceasing, or unremitting.
Examples:
Incessant chatter. Incessant rain. The incessant barking of the dog next door kept me up all night.
Yap.
To talk or chat continuously, often in an annoying or high-pitched manner, to make a lot of noise or fuss about something.
Examples:
Yap loudly. Yap away for hours. He's always yapping about how much money he makes, but I don't believe him.
Sicken.
To become or make someone physically or mentally ill, to cause disgust or nausea.
Examples:
Sicken with disgust. Sicken unto death. The smell of chemicals in the factory made me sicken.
Reek.
To emit a strong, unpleasant smell, to have a strong or offensive odor. Noun, a strong, unpleasant smell.
Examples:
Reek with suspicion. Reek of garlic. The garbage in the dumpster began to reek after sitting in the hot sun for days.
Fumble.
To handle something awkwardly, to make mistakes or errors in attempting something.
Examples:
Fumble about in a bag. Fumble a grounder. The receiver fumbled the ball, and the other team recovered it.
Slam.
To shut a door or window noisily, to strike something violently or noisily.
Examples:
Slam the door. Slam the book against a wall. She slammed the door shut, angry at the person on the other side.
Singe.
To burn something slightly or superficially, usually by mistake.
Examples:
Singe off the hair over the flames. Singe the edges of a fabric. I didn't realize the iron was still hot and singed my dress.
Sweetheart.
An affectionate term for a person, often a romantic partner, who is loved or cherished.
Examples:
Sweetheart deal. Sweetheart romance. I can always rely on my sweetheart to lift my mood when feeling down.
Thigh.
The part of the human leg between the hip and the knee. In animals, the corresponding upper part of the hind leg.
Examples:
Thigh muscle. Chicken thigh. The marathon runner felt a cramp in her thigh at the 20th mile.
Depletion.
The reduction of something, especially a natural resource, to a critically low level.
Examples.
Depletion of bodily fluids. Depletion of ozone. The depletion of natural resources is a major concern for environmentalists.
Startle.
To cause a sudden or unexpected reaction of surprise, alarm, or fear in someone, typically by means of a sudden and loud noise, movement, or event.
Examples.
Startle for a moment. Startle the world. The loud bang outside the window caused him to startle and spill his coffee.
Repel.
To force an attack or attacker to withdraw or retreat.
Examples.
Repel bandits. Repel bad luck. This material can repel moisture swiftly.
Penance.
An act of voluntary self-punishment or discipline, to express remorse for wrongdoing or to seek forgiveness. Of religion, an act performed to make amends for sins.
Examples.
Perform penance for her sins. Penance ritual. He offered to do penance for his mistakes by volunteering at the local charity.
Ravage.
To cause damage to something badly.
Examples.
Ravage a country. Ravage the brain. A large fire ravaged the forest.
Mutter.
To speak or say something quietly and in a low voice, to make complaining remarks or noises under one's breath.
Examples.
Mutter in a low voice. Mutter to myself. He muttered under his breath about the job relocation.
Frightening.
Causing fear or alarm, or very surprising and alarming.
Examples.
Cast frightening eyes. Frightening experience. The news of the pandemic was a frightening reminder of the fragility of human health.
Stairwell.
A long, vertical road through a structure that is surrounded by a series of steps.
Examples.
Emergency stairwell. Open stairwell. Tom noticed them when he peered down the stairwell.
Frantic.
Marked by uncontrolled excitement or emotion, wild, frenzied.
Examples.
Frantic pace. With frantic haste. The mother was frantic as she searched for her lost child.
Snarl.
To growl aggressively or menacingly, usually in a way that signals anger or hostility. To tangle or knot together in a way that is difficult to unpack or untangle. Noun, a sound or an expression that is made by an animal or a person when they are angry, showing their teeth and producing a harsh, low growling noise.
Examples.
Snarl in defiance. Snarl of frustration. The dog snarled at the mailman who came to deliver the package.
Scrabble.
To scratch or scrape at something with one's hands or claws frantically or desperately. To arrange or rearrange letter tiles to form words in a game of Scrabble equals a popular word game using a 15 by 15 square board and letter tiles, or a similar word game.
Examples:
Scrabble through her purse. Scrabble words. The kids eagerly scrabbled to find the hidden Easter eggs in the garden.
Horse.
Having a rough or harsh-sounding voice, often due to illness, strain, or overuse of the vocal cords.
Examples:
Hoarse cough. Hoarse whisper. The teacher's voice became hoarse after lecturing for 3 hours.
Incoherent.
Expressed or formulated without clarity or logic, lacking cohesion or connection, disjointed or rambling in speech or writing.
Examples:
Incoherent speech. Incoherent thoughts. The speaker's incoherent rambling made it difficult for the audience to understand the message.
Squawk.
To make a loud, harsh, or shrill noise or cry, often in a repetitive or complaining manner. To complain or protest loudly or vehemently. Examples: squawk for food. Squawk in protest. I could hear the seagulls squawk loudly as they flew over the beach.
Molten.
In a liquid state as a result of being heated. Examples: a molten image. Molten lava. The molten metal was poured into the mold.
Darling.
A term of endearment or affectionate term for someone you love or hold dear. Examples: have a darling baby. Medium darling. My darling child, I love you so much.
Sorcery.
The use of magic, often associated with evil or supernatural powers, witchcraft. Examples: mystical sorcery. Dark sorcery. He claimed that he could perform sorcery and cast spells.
Trance.
A state of altered consciousness in which a person may seem to be asleep or unconscious but, in reality, is highly responsive to suggestion. A state of being deeply absorbed in thought or feeling, often characterized by a heightened awareness of one's surroundings and emotions. Examples: trance state. Meditative trance. The rhythmic beat of the drums kept the audience in a trance.
Ecstatic.
Feeling or characterized by intense joy, delight, or enthusiasm. Examples: ecstatic joy. Ecstatic dance. She was ecstatic to receive the news that she had won the lottery.
Ragged.
Of clothing, frayed or not in good condition, tattered. Examples: ragged edge. ragged clothing. The old flag was ragged and torn.
Agape.
Characterized by wide-open wonder, surprise, or amazement, describing someone's mouth being wide open with awe or astonishment. Noun, of Christian theology, the selfless, unconditional love that God has for humanity.
Examples:
With my mouth agape. Agape feast. The crowd stood agape at the sight of the magnificent fireworks display.
Passers-by.
People who are walking past a particular place, often used to refer to a group of people or an undefined number of individuals.
Examples:
Passers-by on the sidewalk. Group of passers-by. The busy street was filled with passers-by hurrying to their destinations.
Erupt.
Of a volcano, to become active and eject rocks, smoke, etc., to start abruptly and violently.
Examples:
Erupt in anger. Erupt into tears. Battles between whites and blacks erupted immediately.
Allure.
Attractiveness, interestingness, or excitement.
Examples:
Allure of cheap labor in China. External allure. He can't resist the attractive waitress's allure.
Transfigure.
To change the appearance or form of something completely, to make it appear more beautiful or magnificent.
Examples:
Transfigure the appearance. Transfigure a landscape. The magical spell was able to transfigure the prince into a frog.
Anguish.
Severe physical or emotional pain or suffering, distress or mental agony.
Examples:
Anguish and pain. Emotional anguish. She suffered from a deep sense of anguish following the loss of her loved one.
Stumble.
To miss a step and fall or nearly fall, to walk unsteadily.
Examples:
Stumble financially. Stumble through life. She stumbled over the tree root.
Sprawl.
To sit, lie, or fall with one's arms and legs spread out.
Examples:
Sprawl out luxuriously on the sofa. Sprawl for acres. The lush vegetation sprawls across the wonderfully landscaped gardens.
Swell.
To become larger or more inflated, to become more intense or important.
Examples:
Swell at room temperature. Swell a population. His arm was swelling from the insect bite.
Sham.
Something that is not as good or true as it seems to be, and is intended to deceive people. A person who pretends to be something they are not.
Examples:
A sham battle. Turn out to be all sham. The data he prepared was completely sham.
Dishonor.
The lack of honor or respect, a feeling of shame or disgrace.
Examples:
Do him a dishonor. Dishonor of my family. His actions brought dishonor to the family, and he was disowned.
Arrogant.
Having or revealing an exaggerated sense of one's importance or abilities.
Examples:
An arrogant attitude. Grow arrogant. He was so arrogant that he thought he was always right.
Rooftop.
The upper surface or cover of a building's roof, often used for recreational or other purposes.
Examples:
Rooftop live. Rooftop deck. They held the dinner party on the rooftop terrace, enjoying the beautiful view of the city.
Excrement.
The waste matter discharged from the body, particularly that which is evacuated through the bowels or urinary tract.
Examples:
Animal excrement. Human excrement. As a dog owner, cleaning up your pet's excrement is responsible.
Juncture.
A critical point or moment in time, often indicating a key decision or turning point, a place or point of connection, such as a joint or seam.
Examples:
The juncture of Eastern and Western cultures. Decisive juncture. At this juncture in the project, we must reassess our plans and make some changes.
Chant.
A simple melody or tune, typically one that is repeated or sung in a monotonous way. Verb, recite with musical intonation.
Examples:
Chant melodies. Chant in the chapel. The soccer game crowd broke into a chant of "Go, team, go."
Unaccountable.
Not able to be explained or justified, often in a way that suggests something suspicious or dishonest is going on. Not responsible or answerable for one's actions or behavior.
Examples:
Unaccountable behavior. Unaccountable decision. The unaccountable disappearance of funds led to an investigation.
Frenzied.
Wild, excited, or uncontrolled, often as a result of strong emotions such as anger, fear, or excitement.
Examples:
Frenzied buying. Frenzied excitement. The frenzied crowd rushed towards the stage at the music festival.
Inexhaustible.
Incapable of being used up or worn out, boundless or limitless in quantity, energy, or endurance.
Examples:
Inexhaustible optimism. Inexhaustible curiosity. Solar power is an example of an inexhaustible source of energy.
Splendor.
Great brightness, brilliant or stunning appearance, magnificence.
Examples:
Splendor of nature. Splendor of art. The splendor of the palace was breathtaking.
Vestibule.
A small entryway or antechamber between two larger rooms, a chamber or passageway leading into a larger building or structure.
Examples:
Vestibule doors. Vestibule area. The vestibule of the building was decorated with beautiful artwork.
Agon.
A contest or competition, typically one in which participants exert themselves physically or mentally to achieve victory or surpass others.
Examples:
Emotional agon. An agon of creativity. The weightlifting competition brought together athletes from different countries for an international agon.
Falter.
To hesitate or stumble in action or speech, to lose strength or momentum, to become unsteady or shaky.
Examples:
Falter in decision making. Falter in speech. My confidence began to falter as I gave my presentation in front of the class.
Drone.
A low continuous humming noise, someone who takes more time than necessary, a pilotless aerial vehicle that is operated by remote control.
Examples:
Drone flight. The speaker's drone. He heard a drone of sirens roar from the neighboring town.
Waver.
To move in a quivering manner, to become weak.
Examples:
Waver in purpose. Waver between work and private life. She didn't waver in her decision to pursue her dream career, despite the challenges.
Whisper.
To speak very quietly to somebody using the breath rather than the voice so that only those close to you can hear you.
Examples:
Answer in a whisper. The whisper of the leaves. He took me aside and whispered in my ear.
Blush.
To become red in the face from embarrassment, shame, or modesty.
Examples:
Blush bright red. Blush for my mistake. She blushed when the boy complimented her.
Embody.
To represent or exemplify something. To give tangible form to an abstract idea.
Examples:
Embody my goal. Embody a spirit of charity. The company's new products embody the values of innovation and sustainability.
Inoffensive.
Not causing offense, annoyance, or harm, not objectionable or unpleasant, in accordance with good taste or social norms.
Examples:
Inoffensive remark. Inoffensive joke. The cartoon series is designed to be inoffensive to viewers of all ages.
Graze.
To feed on grass or other vegetation, especially by nibbling at it repeatedly, to break the skin of a body part by scraping.
Examples:
Turn cattle out to graze. Graze the left shoulder. The sheep graze on the green grass in the meadow.
Backfire.
To have an opposite and undesirable effect to what was intended, to make a sudden noise like an explosion.
Examples:
Backfire big time. Backfire spectacularly. The company's decision to lay off a large number of employees backfired as it led to a decrease in productivity.
Piebald.
Characterized by patches or spots of two different colors, especially black and white, referring to animals or objects with this color pattern.
Examples:
Piebald horse. Patchy piebald. During the Easter egg hunt, the children had a great time searching for piebald eggs.
Stallion.
A male horse that has not been castrated, gelded, typically known for its strength, vigor, and often used for breeding purposes.
Examples:
Powerful stallion. Black stallion. The ranch owner proudly showed off his prized stallion at the horse show.
Gleam.
To reflect light in a way that creates a shining or bright and attractive appearance, to become visible or apparent.
Examples:
Gleam in eyes. Gleam like honey. The diamond ring gleamed in the sunlight, catching everyone's eye.
Resplendent.
Shining brilliantly, radiant or splendid.
Examples:
Resplendent jewelry. Resplendent in gold. The resplendent sunset was a sight to behold.
Abash.
To cause someone to feel embarrassed, ashamed, or self-conscious. To make someone feel uneasy or uncomfortable in a social situation.
Examples:
Abash the mischievous student. Feel abashed. His blunt honesty would often abash those unprepared for such directness.
Bury.
To place a dead body in the ground, grave, or tomb.
Examples:
Bury in the earth. Bury emotion. There is plenty of space to bury everyone.
Devour.
To eat or consume something eagerly or ravenously, or to destroy something rapidly.
Examples:
Devour a meal. Devour my way. She devoured the mystery novel in one sitting.
Grandeur.
The quality of being impressive or magnificent in appearance, size, or scope. The state of being majestic, impressive, or awe-inspiring.
Examples:
Natural grandeur. Lost in grandeur. The castle's grandeur was breathtaking, with its towering turrets and sweeping arches.
Glint.
To shine or sparkle with a brief, sudden light, to give a glimpse or hint of something. Noun, a quick or sudden flash of light, often reflecting off a surface.
Examples:
glint coldly, a glint in his eye. The sun glinted off the water, creating a dazzling display of light.
Eruption.
An instance of a sudden and violent release of lava, gas, or ash from a volcano, a sudden outburst or explosion of something.
Examples:
eruption alert level, emotional eruption. The volcanic eruption caused widespread destruction and left the area covered in ash.
Innards.
The internal organs of a human or animal, the visceral organs, especially the stomach, and intestines, the internal parts of something.
Examples:
animal innards, innards of a machine. The chef used the innards of the fish to make a flavorful broth.
Nostril.
Either of the two openings in the nose through which air is breathed.
Examples:
bleeding nostril, clogged nostril. She had a tissue ready to wipe her nostril after a sneeze.
Flare.
To burn brightly with a sudden, intense burst of flame or light. Noun, a sudden and brief burst of bright flame or light, a sudden and intense burst of radiation from the sun's surface.
Examples:
flare up into a major crisis. The flare of a match. The sun flared and caused a sudden brightening in the sky.
Thirst.
A feeling of needing something to drink, a strong desire for something.
Examples:
a burning thirst. Thirst for authority. He read books to quench his thirst for knowledge.
Vanish.
Disappear or stop being present or existing suddenly and completely.
Examples:
vanish into thin air. Vanish amid the crowd. 2 months later, my tumor vanished utterly.
Scrutinize.
To examine carefully and critically, to inspect closely.
Examples:
scrutinize her belongings. Scrutinize a suspect. The detective scrutinized the evidence for any clues.
Oblique.
Not straightforward or direct in action or speech, having a slanting or sloping direction or position.
Examples:
oblique angle. Oblique reference. The painter used oblique lines to create a sense of depth in the artwork.
Furtive.
Characterized by stealth or secrecy, done or acting in a way that is intended to escape notice or attention.
Examples:
furtive glance. furtive movement. He tried to hide his furtive activities from his friends.
Unblinkingly.
Without blinking or looking away, with unwavering focus or attentiveness.
Examples:
Gazed unblinkingly. Watch unblinkingly. The child stared unblinkingly at the magician's every move, completely captivated by the performance.
Pugnacious.
Having a tendency to fight or be quarrelsome, inclined to be aggressive or belligerent in nature.
Examples:
Pugnacious temperament. Pugnacious behavior. The boxer had a pugnacious attitude and was always looking for a fight.
Wrath.
Extreme anger.
Examples:
Wrath of God. A high person's wrath. He finally exploded with wrath due to the team's repeated failures.
Repress.
To restrain or control by force, to suppress feelings or memories.
Examples:
Cannot repress laughter. Repress gene expression. He repressed the memories of his traumatic childhood.
Entrap.
To lure or trap someone into doing something they should not, to ensnare, to trick or deceive into an undesirable situation.
Examples:
Entrap me into going to the event. Entrap unsuspecting victims. The police officer used a wire to entrap the criminal in a sting operation.
Seethe.
To be filled with intense, but barely suppressed anger, resentment, or agitation, to boil or churn with inner turmoil or intense activity.
Examples:
Seethe with anger. Seethe resentment. The tension between the two countries continued to seethe beneath the surface.
Stench.
A strong or unpleasant odor, a foul or nauseating smell.
Examples:
Bad stench. Strong stench. The stench of rotting garbage wafted through the alleyway, making breathing hard.
Orifice.
A small opening, hole, or vent in a body or object through which substances or objects can pass, a natural body opening, such as a mouth, nostril, or anus.
Examples:
The orifice of the gas stove. Dental orifice. The doctor used a small tool to examine my nasal orifice.
Unwashed.
Not cleaned or purified, untidy or unkempt in appearance or manner, lacking in refinement or sophistication.
Examples:
Unwashed hair. Unwashed vegetable. The dirty clothes remained unwashed in the hamper for weeks.
Rum.
A distilled alcoholic beverage made from sugarcane or molasses, often aged and typically with a sweet, rich, or spicy flavor.
Examples:
rum cocktail, spiced rum. The rum in the pina colada gave the drink its signature kick.
Rebellion.
An act of violent or open resistance to an established government or ruler.
Examples:
rebellion leader, excite rebellion. The anti-government rebellion was put down quickly by the government's military forces.
Bathe.
To wash or immerse oneself or another person in the water or a liquid, to expose a part of the body to a natural element, such as sunlight or air.
Examples:
bathe in the sea, bathe the baby. I always bathe my dog after she swims in the lake.
Lexicon.
All the words and phrases of a particular language or branch of knowledge, such as nautical or medical.
Examples:
Greek-English lexicon, lexicon of business phrases. This bilingual lexicon was essential for his language improvement.
Absolve.
Especially in religion or law, to declare someone free from guilt, punishment, or responsible for something.
Examples:
absolve you from this responsibility. Absolve a person of a sin. The lender offered to absolve him of $500 in debt on condition of work.
Bland.
Lacking in strong flavor, character, or interest, unremarkable or unexciting.
Examples:
make a bland reply. Bland novel. The dinner was rather bland and in need of some seasoning.
Puncture.
A small hole or wound made by piercing, such as with a needle, nail, or pointed object.
Examples:
bicycle puncture, needle puncture. The tire had a puncture and needed to be replaced.
Squander.
To spend or use something wastefully, to waste by spending or using too freely.
Examples:
squander money, squander a chance. He squandered his inheritance on frivolous purchases.
Vigil.
A period of wakefulness maintained for any reason, typically for prayer, meditation, or watch-keeping. A period of observation or surveillance, especially for security or safety reasons.
Examples:
vigil for peace, night vigil. The mother kept a vigil by her sick child's bedside all night.
Abdication.
The act of formally relinquishing or renouncing a position of power, authority, or responsibility, particularly that of a monarch or ruler.
Examples:
abdication of power, abdication of responsibility. The king's abdication of the throne caused a political upheaval in the kingdom.
Efface.
To erase or obliterate something completely, to make something disappear or become less prominent.
Examples:
Efface a memory. Efface a blemish. The cleaning crew had to efface the stubborn stain from the carpet using a specialized cleaner.
Consternation.
A feeling of sudden shock, confusion, or dismay that arises from a surprising, unexpected, or alarming event or news, a state of anxiety or worry.
Examples:
Consternation expression. Momentary consternation. The unexpected news caused consternation among the employees.
Perch.
To sit, stand, or rest on something, particularly a narrow or elevated surface, to position oneself confidently or dominantly, to place something in a high or elevated position. Noun, a branch or other elevated place where a bird can rest or roost.
Examples:
Perch on a ledge. Perch of a bird of prey. The bird perched on the branch, watching the world below.
Ledge.
A narrow, flat surface or shelf that juts out from a wall or cliff, a projecting rib or molding along the edge of a surface.
Examples:
Ledge overlooking the ocean. Wooden ledge. He stood on the narrow ledge, looking down at the busy street below.
Chide.
To scold or rebuke someone, typically mildly or gently, to express disapproval or disappointment towards someone's behavior or actions.
Examples:
Chide with reproach. Chide gently. She chided her child for not completing the homework on time.
Bantering.
Characterized by light-hearted teasing or joking, playful teasing or joking done in a good-natured way.
Examples:
Bantering tone. Bantering humor. Their bantering conversation was interrupted by the arrival of an important guest.
Premeditate.
To think about, plan, or consider an action or event beforehand. To carefully consider or contemplate an action or decision before carrying it out, often implying a deliberate or intentional act.
Examples:
Premeditate scheme. Premeditate revenge. The robber premeditated the theft of the jewelry store by casing it for weeks.
Inhabit.
To live in a specific location, to reside.
Examples:
Inhabit a cave. Inhabit the stomach. I have no idea what sort of folks inhabit the neighborhood.
Spontaneously.
In a way that is natural, not planned or forced, and often sudden.
Examples:
Recover spontaneously after 5 days. This shift occurs spontaneously. The electrical cord spontaneously combusted.
Compulsion.
An irresistible urge or impulse to do something, often resulting from internal or external pressures or forces of habit.
Examples:
compulsion to clean, resistance to compulsion. She felt the compulsion to check her phone for messages every few minutes.
Volition.
The power or ability to make choices or decisions by one's own will or conscious choice, the act of consciously choosing or deciding.
Examples:
volition level, freedom of volition. He canceled the meeting of his own volition as he thought it was unnecessary.
Newsstand.
A small retail establishment where newspapers, magazines, and other periodicals are sold, often along with snacks, cigarettes, and other items.
Examples:
newsstand vendor, crowded newsstand. The city's central square has a newsstand kiosk that sells international newspapers and magazines.
Glowing.
Highly enthusiastic, greatly praised.
Examples:
glowing reviews, glowing cheeks. The western sky was glowing pink.
Smudge.
A blurry or dirty mark or stain left by rubbing or smearing something. Also, a bundle of material, such as sage or incense, that is burned to produce smoke for purification or ritual purposes.
Examples:
ink smudge, lipstick smudge. She accidentally left a smudge on the newly painted wall.
Censor.
A person or institution responsible for examining books, movies, and other forms of media to determine if they are harmful or offensive and should be banned or altered. An official in charge of banning or suppressing information.
Examples:
censor a book, censor a TV program. The newspaper editor decided to censor the controversial headline to avoid backlash.
Infect.
To affect a person, an animal, or a plant with a disease-causing organism.
Examples:
infect other animal species. Infect a computer with a virus. Children often infect parents with this head cold.
Unquenchable.
Unable to be satisfied or appeased, impossible to extinguish or put an end to.
Examples:
unquenchable enthusiasm, unquenchable desire. Her unquenchable thirst for knowledge motivated her to pursue a research career.
Murmur.
To say something very quietly, to complain about somebody or something under one's breath.
Examples:
murmur at low wages, murmur a greeting. He always murmurs at the ill treatment.
Incipient.
In the early stages of development or existence, just beginning or emerging.
Examples:
Incipient technology. Incipient trend. The incipient stages of the disease can be detected through early medical screenings.
Obsession.
The state in which a person's mind is filled with thoughts of one single object or particular person.
Examples:
obsession with character, national obsession. Gambling became an obsession for him, and he eventually lost everything.
Orthodox.
Following or conforming to the traditional, normal, or commonly accepted beliefs, ideas, or activities of or relating to Judaism, of or relating to the Eastern Orthodox Church.
Examples:
an orthodox doctrine, orthodox thought. He challenged the orthodox views on business.
Rabbi.
A Jewish religious leader or a Jewish scholar or teacher.
Examples:
son of a rabbi, the city's communal rabbi. The chief rabbi chanted a prayer.
Shrine.
A place considered holy because of its association with a deity or a sacred person or relic, or because it is a place of pilgrimage or worship.
Examples:
shrine temple, religious shrine. The holy shrine to the local saint was a popular place for pilgrims to visit.
Forbid.
To order somebody not to do something, especially officially, to keep something from happening or arising.
Examples:
forbid smoking in public areas. Forbid the use of chemical weapons. God forbid you should regret your marriage.
Licentious.
Lacking moral discipline or restraint, given to excessive or immoral sexual behavior, showing disrespect for accepted social norms or customs.
Examples:
licentious behavior, licentious lifestyle. The licentious partygoers were asked to leave the restaurant after causing a disturbance.
Genital.
Of or relating to the external and internal reproductive organs.
Examples:
genital bleeding, pain in the genital area. The genital organs of the human body are necessary for reproduction.
Avert.
To prevent something dangerous or undesirable from happening.
Examples:
avert disaster, avert a strike. The dam systematically releases large amounts of water to avert flooding during the rainy season.
Carnal.
Relating to physical or bodily needs, desires, or appetites, particularly sexual ones.
Examples:
carnal encounter, carnal pleasure. The church considers carnal desires to be sinful.
Mistrust.
To have doubts or suspicions about the honesty or sincerity of someone.
Examples:
Mistrust a young man. Mistrust the government. He mistrusted her apology because of her past lies.
Confession.
A formal statement in which one admits that they have done something wrong or illegal.
Examples:
A confession of guilt. A confession of faith. The prisoner made a full confession and admitted to his crime.
Torment.
Unbearable physical pain or extreme mental distress. Verb, to cause severe physical or mental suffering to someone, or to be the victim of such suffering.
Examples:
Torment of jealousy. Economic torment. The torturers inflicted great torment upon the prisoners.
Jewish.
Of or related to people whose traditional religion is Judaism.
Examples:
Jewish history. Jewish culture. My friend is a Jewish woman who celebrates Hanukkah every year.
Confound.
To confuse or perplex, to mix up or throw into disorder, to prove to be false or illogical.
Examples:
Confound right and wrong. Confound the problem. The unexpected events confounded the scientists, who had to rethink their hypothesis.
Team.
To be a buzz, to move in large numbers, to fall heavily.
Examples:
Team with activity. Team down. The city teems with traffic on holiday.
Jumble.
To mix or mingle various items, objects, or ideas together in a disordered or confused way, often resulting in a messy or chaotic situation. To create a disorderly or confusing arrangement of things.
Examples:
Jumble in some herbs and spices. Jumble together different colors. The children jumbled up the puzzle pieces and had to start over.
Drown.
To die or cause to die by being unable to breathe underwater.
Examples:
Drown in a bath. I was drowned in work. Floods have the potential to drown any subsurface animals easily.
Unbearable.
Not able to be tolerated or endured, too difficult, severe, or intense to be dealt with or suffered through, intolerable or insufferable.
Examples:
Unbearable heat. Unbearable pain. The loss of his wife was an unbearable sorrow that he found hard to overcome.
Contrite.
Feeling or expressing remorse or guilt for one's wrongdoing, genuinely sorry or repentant.
Examples:
Sincere contrite apology. Deeply contrite expression. The teenager was contrite for breaking curfew and promised to be more responsible.
Enslave.
To make someone a slave, to deprive someone of their freedom of choice or action.
Examples:
Enslave poor peasants. Enslave indigenous people. Her beauty enslaved me completely.
Regress.
To move or develop backward, to return to an earlier or less advanced state or condition, to decline or deteriorate.
Examples:
Regress to childhood. Regress in skills. The team's failure to win games has caused them to regress in confidence.
Folly.
A lack of good sense or judgment, foolishness or absurdity, specifically a costly, useless, or pointless building or project that has been created or undertaken for no practical purpose or benefit.
Examples:
Economic folly. Act of folly. It was folly for the hiker to climb the dangerous mountain alone.
Counterfeit.
Made in imitation of something else to deceive or defraud, not genuine or authentic.
Examples:
Counterfeit document. Counterfeit money. The company hired a team of experts to identify counterfeit products in their supply chain.
Venus.
The planet second in order from the Sun.
Examples:
Venus orbiter. Surface of Venus. They launched a rocket toward Venus.
Bosom.
A woman's breasts or chest.
Examples:
A generous bosom. A bosom friend. He carried a knife in his bosom.
Vamp.
The upper part of a shoe or boot above the sole, covering the instep and sometimes extending over the toes. A woman who uses her charm or allure to seduce and manipulate men. Of music, an improvised or repeated section of music, usually a jazz or blues piece.
Examples:
Vamp designs. Seductive vamp neckline. He was trying to repair the vamp of his shoe, which had become detached from the sole.
Siren.
A device that emits a loud, piercing sound, typically used as a warning or to get attention. Historically, a creature in Greek mythology whose enchanting voice would lure sailors toward danger.
Examples:
Fire truck siren. Police siren. I heard the siren of an ambulance and moved my car to the side of the road.
Glare.
To shine with a bright, harsh, or dazzling light, to stare fiercely or angrily, often with a piercing or threatening gaze. Noun, a strong, bright, and often harsh or uncomfortable light that can be blinding or difficult to look at directly.
Examples:
The glare of the sun. Glare at my opponent. The sun glared down on us, making it difficult to see without squinting our eyes.
Incarnate.
In bodily form, embodied.
Examples:
Incarnate spirit. A devil incarnate. The ancient people worshipped the incarnate deity.
Cherish.
To hold someone or something dear, to feel or show affection for someone or something.
Examples:
Cherish a stuffed animal. Cherish relationships. She cherished the memories of her childhood.